Hello there, welcome to another module of the Appmint tutorial series. In the previous modules, we've taken a look at Introduction to Appmint, and we've also taken a look at some of the core components offered by Appmint, in which you also get to learn hands-on practical section. In this particular module, we are going to be taking a look at one of the interesting features and the core component of the Appmint, which is called the Creative Studio. So what is the Creative Studio? The Creative Studio is Appmint's built-in graphics and image editing suite, as it allows you to create and modify visuals. In this module, we are going to be learning about what exactly is the Appmint Creative Studio. We also are going to learn how to create and edit images using the Appmint Creative Studio. Also, we are going to learn how to use the pre-built design templates offered by the Appmint Creative Studio. And more importantly, we are also going to learn how to optimize images for web and social networks. Finally, we are going to be learning how to use the Appmint Creative Studio to manage and store digital assets using our DAM, just as it was showed in the previous section. Without further ado, let's get started. So right now I'm in my Appmint dashboard, and where I have a lot of things for my dashboard. So, and from this dashboard, you have access to all of Appmint core components as it was mentioned in the previous module. So from here, we have the file section, which is used for the DAM, that is digital asset management, whereby if you are done creating your Appmint using the Appmint Creative Studio to create your graphics, you can easily move the files here to your DAM. So for you to be able to access the Creative Studio, once you are in your Appmint dashboard, so I'm going to go back to show you this is what you are going to be presented with on your Appmint dashboard. Then you click on the site to access the site that you want to use to create your graphics using the Creative Studio. So when you click on site, it's going to show the site that we have created so far. Presently, I have two websites, which is the portfolio demo and the first Appmint website. If you recall, the first Appmint website was the demo that we did in the previous module. So now for me to be able to access the Creative Studio, I'm going to click on View Dashboard to access the first Appmint website dashboard. Once you are done creating the dashboard, it's going to take you to the central dashboard of your portfolio. So in the next section, we are going to be seeing the practical part of how we can actually use the Creative Studio to create our graphics. But for now, let me show you some of the graphics that you can actually create with Creative Studio. So here on my screen, I searched for social media graphics on Google, and I was presented with the screen. Here you have different sizes and different types of banners. So for instance, this is a rectangular graphics for that you can use to actually share image on either social media or for web. And this is simply illustrating about social media. For instance, you have Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and every other icons on there with a background of something like yellow. Then you have this square format, which have an image of if something like a phone and different elements flying all around. So from here, you can see different kinds of banner, both in terms of sizes and in terms of design. For instance, we have rectangular, square. We also have this one which have something like a circle and etc. So you can also create this kind of graphics using the Appmint Creative Studio. So without much further ado, let's dive into the practical section. All right, so now for you to be able to access the Creative Studio, I'm going to be clicking on this. When you get to the portfolio, the website dashboard, so you're going to be seeing a lot of options, just like we said in the previous section. Then you are going to click on applications. So when you click on application, you have three options presently now. You have the Midfield Designer, the Template Editor, and the Creative Studio. So then I'm going to be clicking on Creative Studio, and this is going to launch the Creative Studio. So for now, it's going to show this dashboard for me, which is meant for the Creative Studio. But because I did not have any graphics that I've created so far, that's why I'm being presented with a blank screen that is no rules. So if I want to start creating my own graphics, so I'm going to click on either the plus sign here or the plus sign here to create a new graphics. So let me click there to launch the Creative Studio and start creating graphics. So now I have the Creative Studio. This screen is meant for the Creative Studio, and here I have a lot of tools that you can actually use to create your graphics. So we are going to be explaining some of these tools so that you can see how you can actually launch and create your own graphics. But if the screen and tools that you are seeing on the Creative Studio sounds a little bit overwhelming, do not worry, as you might not even use all of them while creating your graphics. But the most important thing is to be familiar with the ones that you'll be using the most. On this screen, we have some tools at the header section here, and we have some by the left side right here. So if you want to create graphics, the first thing that you're going to do is to create the shapes that you want your graphics to be all about. So for instance, if you want to create a graphics that's going to have a rectangular shape or a circle shape or something like a square shape. So for you to do that, all you have to do is to move your mouse to the left side by here, then click on shapes, and you're going to be presented with a screen of different shapes. Here you have square, you have different options, you have this trapezoidal, you have circle, and etc. So you can also scroll down to see some other shapes that you can actually use. So here you can click on the square, and when you click on square, it's going to show it on the screen here. So now I'm going to show you. So now when I click on the square, it's already on the screen, but the reason why I'm not seeing it is because of this dialog box that is here. So this dialog box is also used to edit your shapes, in which we are still going to learn more about that. So for you to see that, you can just minimize the dialog box, and then these are shape here. So when you click on the shape, you can resize it by clicking this or this to increase the length and the breadth. So if I want to make something like a rectangular shape, I'm just going to click on this. And if I want to make a square shape, I'm just going to size this. So you can see, so that's how to go about that. So now I'm trying to create something like a square shape, but if you notice, the edges here is a little bit skewed. So if I want to redo to make sure that my images look normal, I can also redo or undo the effects that I've done. So if you want to undo, just click there, and it's going to undo the changes that you have made so far. Undo, and if you want to redo, you can click on this, and it's going to redo back. So that's for the shapes. So if you want to add text, you can simply click here, and if you want to add a title text, so you can add different kind of text. You have the title text, you have the subtitle text, and you have the paragraph text. So depending on the kind of text that you want to add. In this case, I want to add the title text, so I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to have the title text here. So now if I want to edit the text, all I have to do is to double click on it, and then I can say welcome to Appmint Creative Studio. So I can also resize this. So let me put this inside there. So there are different kind of options that is available. So if you want to add changes to this text, maybe you want to reduce the size or you want to increase it, all you have to do is to click on it, then maximize the dialog box that is there, then click on this text here. So this text is for adding text changes to your text. So if I want to be able to edit text, all I have to do is to click on it, then highlight the part that I want to, whether let's say I want to increase the size of this Appmint, all I have to do is to highlight it, then maximize this dialog box here and click on the text to open the option. So if I want to increase the font size, all I have to do is to click the plus sign here, and if I want to decrease it, all I have to click on the decrease. You can also as well as type your previous font size there. So let me just give it 42 and then press enter. So this is going to give it a size of 42. So in the next section, we are going to be having a practical demo whereby we're going to be able to create and edit visuals that we can use on our social media posts. See you in the next section.